I'm Ray Beavers, your CEO for United Cooperative Services, and it's been a while since we visited about what's going on in the electric utility industry, and thought we'd just update you on a few things that would have definitely is going to have impact on not just how we use electricity, but then to impact the cost of electricity as time goes on. Now, who would ever thought that the natural gas would bottom out below $3 per million BTUs? And I never would have thought that. Matter of fact, the last time we've had this conversation, we were under the impression that natural gas was going to be going up, and doggone if it didn't go back down. Now, that's good because most of our generation in the state of Texas is natural gas, and which means that the lower the cost of natural gas should be lower the cost of what you pay for electricity. And we've seen that in our bills as we've seen our power costs go down from, at one time, almost 8 cents a kilowatt hour not too long ago, to right now it's below 6 cents a kilowatt hour. And we hope that continues, of course, but what we're going to discuss right quick kind of puts a few doubts in how electricity is going to stay down in cost. I'm sure you've been hearing on the news that ERCOT in the state of Texas has been sending out press releases that we're not in really good shape when it comes to the amount of generation capacity that we have in the state at present time. We've seen a lot of capacity get mothballed because it's just not efficient, and when you have a piece of inefficient equipment out there trying to compete on a market, then it's not going to work too well. So those generators have been mothballed, and you know, we still have had growth in the state of Texas, even though we've been through a national recession. It hasn't hit our state as bad as it's hit most of the states in our great country. Well, the deal is we're starting to see growth again, and as we see growth again, nobody's building capacity, new generating capacity that is, and so what are we going to do about that, and how's that going to affect us? Well, right now, with the state of Texas being primarily a deregulated state when it comes to electric utility industry, there's not much the state can do. It has to happen in the market. Well, the problem is when it's market-based and you're looking at people having to build new generation capacity in a competitive market, well, they look at it from two perspectives. Number one, if I'm going to build new generation capacity in a competitive market, I've got to realize I'm not going to be competitive as soon as that generation comes online and starts producing electricity. Because today, to build a natural gas-fired generating plant is going to cost over $1,000 per kW. Most of the generating plants in Texas are older, still efficient, but older, and their costs are below $400 per kW. So how's that going to compete when you open up that generating plant? It's not. So therefore, there's no incentive for people to build generating capacity in the state. I think the second problem with doing that as well is who's going to invest in that? Even if I wanted to build a generating plant, where am I going to get the $500 million to $1 billion to build a generating plant? Most investors are scared of investing in a deregulated market right now because it's just not played out, and some of the key components have just within the market has not played out to the point where people feel comfortable investing. Now, where does that put us from a standpoint of cost? Well, you know, when we have what they call capacity constraints, when we do start running low capacity in our state, the state law allows a cap, meaning the max any generator can charge for electricity to be $3,000. That's it, no more than $3,000 per megawatt hour, meaning $3 per kilowatt hour. And now, folks, remember we're talking about, a while ago I said you're paying 6 cents a kilowatt hour. That's $3 a kilowatt hour. It can go up to when the market becomes constrained, meaning that we have a greater demand for power, normally in extreme temperature conditions, and then when what we have capacity. So when that happens, you know, supply and demand equals price, and the supply stays static, demand goes up, price goes up. And so we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. Now they're even talking about within the state, maybe through the Public Utility Commission, of raising that cap to $6,000, meaning $6 a kilowatt hour, to incentivize maybe building more generating plants. I don't think that's going to happen, because again, that only happens a few times a year when you have those constraints, capacity constraints, and I don't know who's going to invest again $500 million into a facility, a plant that they're only going to use every once in a while. Well, needless to say, we're confused. The whole state's confused of how to plan next 3 to 5 years on and be able to tell our members exactly what we think is going to happen. We've been talking about this for several years now. It's still volatile, and it will still maintain volatility within electric utility markets until who knows. I have no idea when that point's going to come where we can say, you know what, I know what's going to happen next year, and we can plan accordingly. Now, United, what we're doing everything we can to hold our costs down, which is not a very significant impact on you as far as what your dollars you pay for electricity, but we're doing our best to hold that cost down. But mainly what we're trying to do is figure out what's happening in the market and what's happening in the future so we can keep you informed. That's the purpose why we're talking today. And I hope maybe I put a few comments out there that's helped you kind of understand what you may be reading in the papers. But if you ever got any questions, please don't hesitate to email us or drop us a line or call us, and we'll do our best to keep you informed. Thanks for listening, and we'll be talking to you again soon.